everyone. Welcome to yet another exciting season of our community podcast series, Season 9. This season, we get an opportunity to profile art practitioners in Uganda, Mali, Rwanda, and Cote d'Ivoire. We speak to them about how they have contributed to the growth and well-being of their communities using their talent and skills for philanthropy. Thank you for joining us. Our dear listeners, we're back again for another community podcast series. This time we have the wonderful Nabunjo Dorothy, a renowned creative entrepreneur, a curator, an artist in her own right, an artist's manager. So without further ado, Dorothy, welcome to the community podcast.
Thank you so much, Edna.
Could you tell our audience about yourself?
Wow. When people usually ask me that question, I'm like, wow. But yes, my name is Dorothy Nabunjo. An art enthusiast, and then enthusiast.
Enthusiast.
That word. Anyway, but I'm an art manager. I love to give, and I'm so excited about today's topic. And when they told me to be here, I was like, yes. So what I basically do, I work with people. I believe we all have dreams. But in most cases, because of what is surrounding us, people not believing in us, sometimes we cave in. So what I usually do is I want people to believe in themselves so that they can live their dreams in whichever way I'm doing. So whenever people ask me, tell us about yourself, I'm like, where do I start from? Yeah. So, but in a nutshell, that's who I am. I'm an art manager. I work with the arts, creatives, and all that. Yeah.
Wow. What's your understanding of generosity or giving?
Giving. For me, it stems from the word love. Because love, you can't give when there is hate in your heart. No, so generosity for me stems from love. When you love, when your heart is pure, your heart is open, it's very easy for you to give, for you to be generous. So, and generosity is in different forms. It can be monetary, it can be in form of kindness, it can be in form of time, it can be in form of being present. So for me, it takes on different forms. It depends on what is being applied at what time and what scenario. Yeah.
Well, that's wonderful. What's your earliest recollection of generosity, or who introduced you to this generosity that you speak of?
Wow. Alias.
Is it your parents? Is it your siblings? How did it feel like? Was it at school?
Well, I'll share two instances that I've remembered. When I was growing up, I remember my mom she was a very nice lady. That's one of the things I remember. And all our cousins, they always wanted to come and stay at home. And I think because she generously loved, I think that's one of the earliest. But then that one that I really vividly remember, when my parents passed on, I was taken by one of my aunties. She also passed on. But this lady loved me, like her own daughter. Like you could not differentiate. Like I can't even explain it. But for me, I would say that was the earliest memory of generosity. Like I said, for me, I feel it stems from love. This is a person who, whatever she eats, you have to eat. You have to be dressed. Like, you're not an orphan.
Yes.
You're not an orphan. And whenever people talk about orphans, I'll be like, I don't fit that description. Like, that's not me.
Yes.
And I think to me that was really, really being generous. And that has impacted my life, how I deal with people, how I love people. And then for me as an individual, I remember when I was in secondary, I used not to like to like school food. But we used to have S1s because I remember my HSC, I was like the dormitory prefect, but even before that, we used to have S1s, and whenever they could come to school, they always eat their grub like in the first week. Like, I don't know how that used to happen. So, but whenever I was home, before I would go to school, I'd make sure I bake, I do daddies, which I used not to eat for some reason. They would pack for me, but I was not a good eater. So what I would do is I would leave my case open, and everyone knew that's a case that you can access.
Yes.
Whenever you're hungry or something, but you just have to inform me. And to me, I think that was me being generous, and I didn't expect anything back. Then, whenever my pocket money I was given, I had to put money aside for this. I didn't use to like washing. So, and I knew a time would come when people don't have money, especially my S1s.
Yeah.
So they'll be like, they'd always book, "Do you not washing your uniform?" And because they'll be expecting a 200 shillings somewhere. So for me, those are my earliest moments. And then also in school, my teachers were really generous to me. Like in terms of, like I said, I was favored in a way. Yeah.
Wow.
So for me, that's
generosity showing up as favor.
Yes.
That's an interesting lesson. This is the first time I'm hearing of this one.
Oh, yeah.
It is a lovely lesson to take away.
Yeah.
What motivates you to give?
I think personally, it's in my nature. I wouldn't say something has to motivate me. It's part of who I am. If I have something, I would love to share with someone. I would love to see everyone happy. Like, I see good in everyone. So if I can give something of me, whether my time, whether my knowledge, whether my money, and it can help you to be happy, why not? Why not? Yeah.
That's true. Well, I've known you as a creative entrepreneur as far as I've known you, because you always have your hands into something, but it always has to be around the arts.
Yeah.
How has generosity shown up in your professional life? How have you experienced it?
Wow. When I started this journey, I was clueless. Because I was coming from a professional, corporate kind of life. And along the way, because when I started in management, talent management, the first people that I talked to were the people that were feared in the industry. And these are people who give me knowledge and insight and introduced me and opened doors for me without me paying a coin, where people would have paid, honestly. Like, that's why I say for me, generosity is more of love and favor.
Yes.
Because I can't quantify that knowledge. I've been in the industry for 3 years. People think I've spent 10 years.
Yes. That's
but
true.
it's because the people I found were generous enough to share with me their knowledge, their skills, and open doors for me. And well, the person interviewing me here was one of those people. When I joined the art side of business, because I was clueless, you guys. Clueless. And she always laughed at me and never would give her a call, like, "But Dorothy, even asking me that." I'm like, yes. So for me, the fact that people were willing to share with me their knowledge and skill, that's how I've experienced. Because you may have the money, someone can give you money, but I believe teach me how to fish so that I can always fish for myself.
That's true.
And that's I'm like, for me, it's love and favor and all what people can actually do.
Wow. I didn't know that you remembered.
I can't forget. Like for me, even I have the list of people. I'm like, God, when I make it to this point, oh my God, they're going to be spoiled. Because like in the media, people pay millions and millions of money to be in the media. But I remember the first people I approached, I didn't pay them anything. And they did stories, like they helped my artists to be out there because I started from branding and PR, because I mean, we didn't have the money, but I was like, what am I good at? I'm like, I'm good at PR. Yes. So let me go to these people. Like, honest, I didn't even know them. Like one person would introduce you
to another person.
And I think it was favor. They were being generous. Like they gave what they had.
Wow.
Without expecting. And up to now, I keep them around my circles. Yeah, because I wouldn't be where I am without their generosity.
That's true. And to our audience, indeed, when you look at her doing her art thing, it's like she has been doing it for the last 20 or something years. It has gotten so much better. I can tell you from the images that I see on Facebook to the posters, everything, it's so spot on. Like, I think you can't talk about art in Uganda and you don't talk about the Samson art space.
Wow, amazing.
Yes, it's always happening. So that kudos to you and for all the work that you do.
Wow, and thank you. And thank you so much for being part of those first journeys and the steps we had to take, and for being generous. Thank you for your generosity.
Well,
yes. Sometimes we need to give people their flowers when they're still alive.
Yeah, we need to give our flowers when we're still alive.
Yes.
Because when we're gone.
Yeah.
And then I would like to ask you, what do you give?
What do I give?
What do you give to people? Because we've been having this conversation of favor and love and people opening doors and generosity being the key to that. But what do you give us, Dorothy, when you say today is my day? Okay, every day I know is your generosity day. Knowing you from a personal perspective. So what do you give to your community in your work? What do you give?
So one of the things, it's in two ways. I love giving. My love language is gifts.
Okay.
So I love gifts apart from the time when you became broke. So gifts have become a little bit scarce.
Yeah, that's true.
In my area code. But I do give gifts. And then because I also realize what people mainly need is sometimes it's not money, but opportunities. So I usually give people opportunities. So that's one of the way I give. If I see an opportunity and I think it can help someone, I'll share it.
Yes.
And the other way I give is sharing my knowledge, because that's how I'm where I am, because someone else shared their knowledge with me.
Yes.
So professionally, it's me sharing my knowledge. And then I also love to mentor young people. Like I work with young girls and sometimes I'm like, oh God, I'm like, you know what, Dorothy, if you do not work with these girls and make them to be better and to see the best in themselves, then you're not impacting this. It doesn't matter, because they have to be a reflection of who you are.
Yes.
You can't work with people and they stay the same. There has to be a difference. When people say, this is a person working with this art space, this is a person working with Karizm, there has to be that distinction.
That's true.
And also in our work, what I usually do, I look at what is really going to help people. Sometimes it's not about the money. Even if you're looking for fun, for me, I'm always looking out whatever we're doing, what value is it adding onto the person?
Yes.
So for me, that's how I give.
Okay, so what problems do you think you're solving in your professional career?
I think one of the things currently is professionalizing the arts. Creating systems in the arts. Because, yes, creatives will always be creatives, but then if there are no systems, it will always be a mess and people always take advantage. So for me, that's one of the problems that I feel I am solving, professionalizing the arts. Yes.
What lessons have you learned from your career, but also on this journey of generosity that you have been a part of?
One, it's very important to give because we receive in different forms from different people. I'm thinking about the schools we went to. Those guys, the teachers, I mean, if you look at how much they're paid and how they've groomed us to where we are, and we are even earning way more than what they are earning, I think that's the earliest. So one of the things is, at whatever stage we are at, we need to give, we need to love people. We need to be patient, we need to be kind, because it's very difficult for you to give when you don't care about something. So you need to find something you care about. You need to care about people, you need to care about your community, and from there it will be very easy for you to be generous. Sometimes people think it's all about money. But you can be generous in different things. How do you talk to people? How do you encourage? How do you motivate?
Yes.
How do you create spaces that people can benefit from? Be a person who's out there seeking opportunities that can help other people to better their lives.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. Generosity showing up in sharing of knowledge.
Yes.
I think it has been the resounding message in this our conversation today.
Yeah.
And it has allowed me to reflect on much of the people that I've met in my life. They have been willing to share their knowledge, because like when we started out in the art business, we were like no knowledge. But just surrounding yourself with people that are willing to pour into you with their knowledge helped both of us, I think, improve and make it to a better place. So I'm really, really grateful for that. Then lastly, what would you like our audience to take away from this conversation or to learn about generosity? Any last remarks that you might have?
One, you have to learn the art of loving people and caring, because without that, you'll always think you're the one who is in need and know that there are other people who need you.
That's true.
Most people think they are the needy ones and they always present their side of, I need this, I need this. But always look at yourself. What can I share with the world?
Yes.
What do I have that I can share with someone, with my neighbor, with my friend? And like I'm saying, it doesn't have to be money. Sometimes always people think generosity is in monetary terms only. What do you have that you can give, that you can share with someone to put a smile on their face, to make them better, to help them say thank you? Yeah.
Wow. Thank you so much, Dorothy.
You're most welcome.
Because I think from our conversation, I've just learned that even favor shouldn't be taken for granted.
No.
Favor is generosity. Favor is a gift. Knowledge shouldn't be taken for granted. Much as you can't give money, you can give of your knowledge, you can give of your time, you can give of yourself. So thank you so very much.
You're most welcome.
We've enjoyed this conversation.
I'm actually honored to have been
We're looking
invited.
forward to others.
All right.
Join us for our next episode as we continue to talk about how different artists and creatives are giving back to their communities. We hope that you have been inspired to give of your time, treasure, and talent when it comes to philanthropy within your own community.